What's going on, guys? My name is RagingRaptor and I welcome you to a new World of Tanks video, and today I have you two replays from the newest sandbox server. And in today's video I really want to show you what exactly it feels like to play the FV stage 2 with HESH only, and how it feels like playing the E-100 with HE only, just to show you how really screwed over HE has become. In the first game we are playing FV stage 2. As you can see, we are even with Okey in a game. I really do hope he feels better. He sounded very bad and I hope he can recover a little bit. So for the people which didn't really know exactly what was going on, HE got completely changed. Almost every single HE round in the game from normal tanks does not have penetration anymore. So our HESH on our FV deals 1100 damage and has 0 penetration. Wargaming themselves said that HESH was roughly balanced in the sense of it being as equal as it would be on the live server. And as you can see, we did one shot on the 430U and dealt 657 damage. Keep in mind that this sounds like an average roll if you wouldn't penetrate, but one crucial thing which is missing right here is, don't forget, this is sandbox, meaning that every single tank in the game has roughly 20% more hit points. So when we are doing roughly the same amount of damage with HESH as we would be doing on the live server, we are effectively doing 20% less damage. So again, Wargaming's point with this HE rebalance was to make HE more consistent, more predictable. At the moment, I sadly cannot confirm this to be true. At the moment, I really feel like it feels even more random than ever again. Look at the shot at this 430U. Why exactly did I do 1000 damage? Why exactly did I do 1034 damage? Roughly exactly the amount of damage I would be doing if it would have been a standard roll. Did I hit him where I would in theory pen him? Or what happened? This is right now what I just feel like is very unintuitive. Because in the current game, if you don't penetrate with HE, you roughly do half the amount of damage, which is, in my opinion, a very intuitive thing. I wouldn't even mind if Wargaming would decide to drop that down to a third of the damage. So tanks like the E-100 would not do 950, which has like 950 HE damage. They wouldn't do around 450 damage, but only 220 damage. I would say that's perfectly reasonable. And here I was like, give me some targets to shoot at! And it didn't work. But as you can see right now, most of our damage shots are basically bad. Like, they don't do a lot of damage. Shot on the 183, 722, indicating that we didn't do our predicted 1000 damage. Seriously, I feel like this change adds much more randomness to HE than it had to be necessary. Almost really loaded. Sadly, we don't get the Type 5 Heavy. I'm trying to do a blind shot, if I'm not mistaken, or not. No, I'm going for this guy and deal another 823 damage, which sounds in this kind of understandable when it comes to damage, but I probably didn't really penetrate properly, you know. I actually saw a clip from Okey where he dealt 1100 damage to a Jack Panzer E-100 over 350 or 400 meters distance. Again, he said it perfectly. This shouldn't happen. Why does this happen? It's the same thing with the 430U. Why exactly did I do 1000 damage? Also, another thing is, imagine we would have hit the side of an E4. On the live server we could penetrate it, especially if we hit the engine deck. Here, not possible. We simply don't penetrate. That's it. We can't penetrate. It takes away, sure, with this tank in particular, I'm actually not that mad about it. Because it is understandable, frustrating to get one shot by this tank. Don't get me wrong, it is frustrating, it's not a really healthy thing. But then again, I have to say, why exactly is Wargaming saying those tanks became more predictable when this is not the case? It's simply not the case, in my opinion. Also, I was a lucky cookie there that he missed, and we don't really need to aim properly. I'm sorry, Monka Legend Cam. Gotta put you to the garage. Rest well, dude. But yeah, this is the first game we're having with the FV. You could see that we had one penetrating a hit, and we did 5,200 damage. Sure, this is a great damage value, especially still for this kind of game. But I also want to point out that don't forget, we were just camping in the back, and literally every single enemy was driving in the front of us, and we were able to just shoot at them without any issue. Also, if you're not sure what AP is doing, AP deals 1,440, as you can see right there, alpha damage on average. But yeah, this is the first game we're having, the FV. Now let's jump into the E-100 gameplay, where I'm also shooting HE only, and I'm thinking there you will see why exactly I think HE is dead. So here we are in a tier 10 game on the mines map. We have HE loaded, and as you can see, it deals 450 damage with 0 penetration. As we already know, HE has no penetration anymore. In this game, I really want to show you like how I usually would have played an E-100 with HE only. Like I would have gone for positions where I can try to splash into weak spots, like the belly armor, like the side skirts, somewhere where there is it easy to splash into the, how should I say, the damage compartment, like in a small armor plate. That's the same why exactly tanks like the ST2 are very vulnerable to HE at the moment, because there's so many 30 and 20 millimeter plates which make them very, very easy to damage with HE. So here we have 279 HE shot. It looks like we hit his gun, so I'm saying, well, that was my bad. We did 0 damage, which is a little bit unlucky, obviously. It is not good, obviously. It is a 279. We basically have no chance whatsoever to penetrate him. But now, look, we shoot at the tracks. You could see we even detrack him. Literally 0 damage. Even though the tank has 55 millimeter of belly armor, we did 0 damage. As much as I dislike HE spam myself, this is just ridiculous in my opinion. Imagine a player, or look at that! Not even detracking the 268 version 4. At this point, I'm not entirely sure if this is a bug or not, but really, 0 damage? That's a little bit ridiculous. Oh, finally, we did some damage on the 430U. Again, I still don't really see where exactly the damage is predictable, even because we have 450 alpha, and in 3 shots we dealt 258. So, yeah, like, again, I seriously cannot see where exactly the damage is predictable. Now we hit roughly the 100mm side armor or the 55mm belly armor, and we did 146 damage. You can see, however, that he is trying to use AP rounds to get our rangefinder, which is a weak spot, and, well, wow, we did 231 damage. Again, I don't really want to say that this is bad. I don't really dislike this, because, again, HE spamming only is very, very frustrating. But then again, you can see how ridiculously strong this tank became when we are not even able to do more than 300 damage with HE on him. And he has almost 3k HP. So imagine we now probably need around 10 shots of HE to slow but steadily whittle him down, maybe even less. Especially if we only do 121 damage. Where meanwhile he can keep on spamming heat rounds without any issues at us. Again, my biggest issue is that HE doesn't pen anymore. I already made that clear very, very often. But this is also just ridiculous if you think about it. He has no real problem to spam us with heat rounds and penetrate us with heat rounds, while we really would have troubles to actually penetrate him. If he would have tried to go for the cupola snipe, sure, it could have worked here and there, but the cupolas aren't very, very big, you know? So he once again has a much bigger advantage over us. In the end, we were lucky enough to hit this shot onto the side of this turret, and finally we were able to kill this behemoth. It just took us 11 HE rounds, where 1 was used on the 430U. Again, we did 900 damage in total to him with a tank which has 2800 HP. and this took us 3 minutes or something. Here I tried to push down, maybe get a shot into the gorilla to show you how it really feels to shoot against the low-end target which hasn't any armor. And here we have the Jackpan's E-100. Again, example what you've seen before with Quickie Baby. He did 1100 damage, I dealt 156. Again, it's very, 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 very random. I seriously cannot see the pattern right there. Obviously, I wasted myself there. I kind of wanted to get the Gorilla 15 to shoot at me and get spotted, but didn't really work that out. So this replay is finished. Again, just wanted to show you those two replays. And again, let me know what you think about this. Sure, less HE damage when not penetrating is okay, but really that little? 0 damage on tracks? Not even able to detrack an enemy? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you, guys.